Hello and welcome back to the colony with Man of the Ants, back in the wonderfully beautiful world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So today we're going to move away from the UK, well we're going to move away from Devon specifically. I do seem to become the de facto go-to for all things Devon related for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is great. I love that. Loads of requests for other places in Devon. I will get to those, so Totnes, Bovey, Tracy, Chudley, Newton Abbot, all sorts of places. We will get to all those places, but I do want to go a little further afield today. So today we're going to go over to Ireland. There was a request a little while back, and apologies, it has taken me a while. It was one of the earlier requests I haven't done yet, to go and see Galway in Ireland, which is up here. Galway, yes, just there, underneath this bit of water. Now, I did go to Ireland on what was sort of my honeymoon, but I went with my in-laws and other people, so it wasn't really a honeymoon. It's more like a holiday directly after my wedding. So we're going to couple Galway with a few things that I also saw in Ireland, see if I can recognise anything. So we're going to go from Dublin, because that's where I originally went on my trip / honeymoon. I can't say I'll be able to tell you much about Dublin or many of the locations or sort of interesting spots. We're going to fly around Dublin for a little bit. We're then going to go up to Newgrange. I wasn't going to go up to Newgrange. Newgrange is a prehistoric monument, I guess. I don't know how else you describe it. I wasn't going to go there because I thought it'd just look like a flat piece of grass, but it's on the map as a specific marker. So we're going to go from Dublin to Newgrange, see what that looks like. We're going to maybe have a go and see if we can find the Rock of Dunamas, which is a ruined castle, which I think will look absolutely terrible in this, but I'm interested to see if we can find it, and that'll be around here somewhere. Then we're going to go to Galway and have a look at Galway, and then we're going to go from Galway to the Cliffs of Moher, I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's around there. So we'll do a little flight there across that little spit of water, and then we're going to come up here slightly, and I don't know how we're going to find these. These might be a little awkward to find, so around here, I'm going to say, there's Kilronan Castle, which has got its own beautiful little lake, which I think was an old quarry or something. We stayed not in the castle, we can talk about that later. And then we're going to go up here-ish to try and find the Glencar Waterfall, which I don't think will look amazing in-game because it's a waterfall and doesn't do verticality very well, but the actual area itself is absolutely beautiful, so we're going to have a go and see if we can find that. So let's pick a plane to start with. What are we going to use as our plane today? I do like the Robins. They've got such big canopies. Maybe we'll go with this JMB, actually. I think we'll go with the JMB, shall we? Let's do that. I'm not sure I've flown that one before. So we'll have that one. Oh, I went way too far. We'll set Dublin as our departure. And then we'll set Newgrange as our arrival, just so I have something to aim for. And then, yeah, we'll try and figure out where Rock of Dunamas is later. So I shall see you on the runway. Oh, hold on, where are we? We're on. Let's go from the runway. Let's not do too much faffing. There we go. So here we are in cloudy Dublin. Cloudy Dublin. So I believe it's still going to just be on. Let me just check the. Ooh, where's my mouse? Yes, the parking brake is engaged. That is correct. The live weather. This is the live weather. Should we stick with the live weather? Is it actually raining? Is it actually a little bit of rain, or is this just dirt? I don't know. We'll stick with the live weather though for now. We'll probably change quite soon because it's about 20 to 6 now local time, and it is obviously a little bit cloudy as well. Now, what was the parking brake? This one? Yes, perfect. What a flat-looking plane though. Oh, I'm all over the place to the point where the game is telling me how to use the rudder. Always a good start. And we're off. So I don't know. What I do need to do, actually, is get the... what am I looking for? Not the nav log. The little map. Where's the little map? Travel to? Nope. That's what I want. I'm going to pop this out and put it on my other screen so I can see this independently. Wonderful. Okay, so where is the... Oh, I'm not even clicked into the game anymore. Where is the airport in relation to Dublin, I wonder? Not all that easy to tell from up here, is it? Let's try going over this way a little bit. I'm going to have to change the weather because it is a little bit too cloudy, isn't it? As much as I love the... weather in game. There we go. It's a bit brighter. Yeah, we can see Dublin's there now. Look at that. Of course it's there. Still don't know what that is on my windscreen. Whether it's Like dirt and marks and stuff? I don't know. I don't know. Right then, as I said, I don't really know Dublin all that well. I have been to Dublin, but I do not know it well. I doubt I'll really recognise much. If we could maybe find the sort of main street, I might just about recognise that, but probably not all that much, if we're being honest. What a beautiful... Let's go for this way a bit. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Oh, it's my... What is my... I haven't had to use gear before. I don't know what my gear is. That one. There we go. And what did I set as the drone camera? Oh, there we go, because that's... Flaps. Where are my flaps? No? That's flaps, isn't it? Yeah, just so I can use that as a screenshot, because my word, that's beautiful. Right. Let's leave that beautiful scene and swing over in this direction. I suspect this is Dublin proper. Is it? I don't know. It looks like it should be. I don't know. Maybe I should zoom in on the map on my other screen. Yeah, this is Dublin, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, cool. I feel a bit better about myself now. Are the flaps not retracted? What did I do? I just put the parking brake on. Oh, there we go. They weren't quite fully retracted. Now they are. Why do I want to reduce speed game? That's crazy. This looks a little bit more like a proper city centre, doesn't it? So I'm sure if any of you are from Ireland or have spent a lot of time in Dublin, I'm sure you'd be going, oh, I'm starting to recognise things now. This pitch on the right, on the left where we've just gone past, these playing fields on the left, these massive... It looks like maybe a bus depot underneath us directly there. So if we head towards, maybe we'll head towards just over here, just so we clip the mouth of the river. Then we'll travel up the river a little bit, maybe, just to see a little bit of Dublin. And then we shall head up towards Newgrange. That's what it was. I knew we had some destination in mind. No idea what this river's called, by the way. No idea. So that bridge we just, in fact, what's the live... There's live pause. Oh, no, that's not live pause, it's the other one. I'm wondering if this double bridge here... I think this road here... I do need... What is my live pause? I've forgotten, apparently I've forgotten every single button I used. Why can't I see it on my list of controls? That's fine, we'll just use what we've got then, I guess, won't we? Because we don't really have an option. Huh. Yeah, so I'm thinking this main street here, I think this is the main street, and there's a monument along this somewhere, if I recall correctly. And I stayed just off of this in a little hotel somewhere. Because I'm sure I recognise that double bridge. There can't be too many bridges that are quite that big, can there? Maybe. And then, yeah, there are loads of beautiful buildings up along this river here. So I drove up and down along this river a fair bit during my time there. Spent a fair bit of time in traffic there. One wonderful moment I will share with you when we were leaving Dublin, actually. And we were leaving during rush hour. And obviously we're in the smack bang centre of Dublin. So we're in traffic. We've been in traffic for a little while. And my father-in-law in the car with me is going, I don't know why there's so much traffic around. And I'm like, it's rush hour in a capital city. That might somewhat explain it. Madness. Anyway, let us try and find Newgrange then. Now I set it as a destination, but I don't actually have it on my map for some reason. But I think that purple marker on my compass that we can see... Oh, I could move my mouse, couldn't I? Because it's been up there the whole time. That's very frustrating. Sorry about that. I think that's going to be taking us towards our destination. Roughly. So we'll head over here somewhere. Over some more parts of Dublin. Oh, I mean, that sun is beautiful, isn't it? Found the live pause. Just had a sudden realisation of where it was. This is the first and only time I had been to Ireland, and Ireland is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There's so much you can go and see around. And I would thoroughly, thoroughly recommend it if you haven't been. But beautiful. And also, quite a cheap place in terms of houses. We were driving past these massive houses in the country which are for sale, and for a laugh looking them up, and they were like half the price you would expect them to be if you were, you know, buying them in any English place. It was crazy. So I'll keep you with me whilst we start going over the Irish countryside. That's a beautiful sunset over there. I can't get over that. I'm going to keep looking at that. Hope you don't get bored of it. We'll just go past the airport over here, and then I'll probably skip as I try and figure out where it is I'm actually going. Wonder if I can find... Where's my mouse? There it is. Yeah, I can't see it on that map. Maybe we'll have to... Oh, hold on. I've got it on that map. I have so many different screens and things going on. It can get a bit confusing sometimes. And there is the airport in this wonderfully flat area, look. Right, yes, yeah, so I can see where it is on a different map now. We have probably gone a little bit off target. Now, I did see a few other player crafts around, but I can't see any now that I'm actually in game. There are a few other islanders. We might bump into one or two as we're around. Just again, just look at that. Just look at that. Let's enable the drone for a second, because my word, that's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Right then. Yes, we need to head up. I don't know why it hasn't got the destination on the map, the in-game map. That's a little bit frustrating. That's going to make this a little potentially a bit awkward to try and figure out where we're going. But I'm going to cut here, and hopefully we'll be back in Newgrange. Hopefully. So it is coming up now, look. You can just about to fly over these quarries. I'm guessing they are underneath us there. And then Newgrange is just 3 nautical miles away. So let's get a little lower. In preparation, and we'll have a flyover of this. Now I'm assuming if it's in game as like a specific marker, it must have had a bit of modelling done on it, right? What a depressing looking block of flats just there. I'm assuming that's a block of... Is either that or it's like some weird factory? It must be like a factory, an agricultural thing that's been picked up weirdly by the game. Has a very sort of Eastern European Soviet feel to it, doesn't it? So I did have a couple of facts up about Newgrange just by accident where I was trying to figure out where it was, but they've disappeared now. But what I did see, oh, there it is. You can just see it. See that little man with that white strip just on our nose there? That is Newgrange. So yes, this monument here, as I said, is prehistoric. It is older than the pyramids. It is older than Stonehenge. It is incredibly old. In case you didn't get that. It's massively impressive. So you can actually go in. There's this doorway you can see we're just going past now. Yeah, you can actually... Oh, if we just do that. Can I do that then do the drone camera? I absolutely can. Amazing. We can actually just fly a little closer to it. Look, yes, you can actually go into it. And I think it's either the winter or the summer solstice. The sun goes straight through the middle of it into the back of this chamber, and it's absolutely fascinating to go in. And I think there are some things on the walls, some paintings or something. It's absolutely amazing to see. It doesn't look much right now, I'll give you that. You can see little dots of sheep around, but it's just one of those things where when you get to it yourself and you just sit there and contemplate for a second just how old it is, how long that stood there, it blows your mind. Slightly controversially, that white front you can see. Am I in the... Don't know what I pressed now. Oh, I'm in the back in the drone mode. That's quite cool, wasn't it? Yeah, slightly controversially, that white front you can see was I'm gonna say use the word refurbished, was rebuilt by someone who made some assumptions on what it should look like, and there's a little bit of consternation over whether it should look like that or not, but that's what it is. We might have to change the time of day when we go somewhere else, but for now, that is absolutely gorgeous, look. So there's a little bit of the Irish countryside, Newgrange and Dublin. Where did I say we were going to go next? Or Galway, wasn't it? Galway and then to the cliffs of Moher? Or so we're going to try and find the Rock of Dunamas, but maybe, I don't think we're going to have time for that. So maybe we'll just go straight to Galway, shall we? So we should now be, if I am correct, high above Galway. So we're actually up about 9,000 feet, much higher than the operating altitude, I believe, for this aircraft. We haven't really been high before, have we? So it'll be quite interesting to get up nice and high and see Ireland from above, with that sun glinting off that lake beautifully. You can see Galway there is just below us, look. So we should go into a very steep climb, steeper than is suggested by the aircraft manufacturers, I'm sure. And that beep in there is that our plane going, my God, my wings are about to rip off from the fuselage. Please do not do this to me. So that's Galway Airport. So as we break through this cloud cover, Galway, I believe, should be just next to the water over here. So there's this entire spread of sort of urban-ish area in front of us here is all Galway. So we'll go over here, we'll sort of slot in between this industrial area and the urban area over to the right, and then we'll slip over to the right and take a look along the coast there. Again, Galway, I didn't go to Galway, this was a user request area, which is what made me think I should come to Ireland in the first place, so I don't know anything about Galway. So hopefully those people who do know anything about it will be able to recognise some things. I might just change the weather again, put it onto a few clouds, just make it a little bit brighter. Yes, beautiful, look at that. Look at that. And then we'll go and try and find the cliffs of Moher. I'm going to go with Moher. I'm going to stick with Moher, I think. And I might use the cheat movement. I can't remember what it's called now. Slew. I might try and use the slew to get over there a bit quicker. I've left those notifications on because I think it'd be handy for someone learning to fly to have those notifications there, but I'm starting to get a bit tired of them now, I must say. Oh, there's a wind turbine just over there. Do you know, I like the look of Galway. It looks like it's quite spread out, quite a lot of green area. Looks really nice, doesn't it? Another wind turbine, all about that renewable energy. And so I think this is largely the end of Galway over here. And I think the other, looking at Google Maps, the other side of this sort of, maybe I'm in the wrong place. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Maybe this is still Galway. Looks very industrialish, or urban, not industrial. It looks very urban still. Yeah, I was thinking we might get on to Barna, but I don't think we've gone quite that far yet, have we? Yeah, Galway looks absolutely beautiful, actually, doesn't it? Looks like we're getting more into the sort of centre of the city now. A few more high-rise type officey buildings. That looks like it's the train station-ish sort of area and the Docklands. Ooh, what's that? Let's take a look at that, shall we? Looks interesting. Is that a road going out to it, or is it just a massive pier? It's absolutely huge. I thought it was going to be something quite nice. Oh, game's stuttered. I thought it was going to be something nice, quite cool and interesting. But it looks like it's actually from that more like just an oil refinery or something. Not quite as picturesque and beautiful as I was hoping for, if we're being honest. I mean, Galway, the sort of urban Galway area looks absolutely massive from here, doesn't it? Because it's so flat and you can see so much of it. And so many trees. The game does like to put trees in just about everywhere it thinks there's any bit of green. So I think it does slightly overestimate the number of trees that are planted around. Someone noted that when I was flying around Plymouth, the Mountbatten Pier had trees along it, which obviously are not there in real life. So I think this is sort of the end of the Galway sort of urban area, I believe. So we will go and try and find the Cliffs of Moher. And again, a massive apologies to anyone who's Irish, from Ireland, or just knows how to pronounce things without sounding like an absolute douchebag. So what we will do then is we'll try out this slew mode to try and find it. The slew mode is how I got up to 10,000 feet before. But I don't usually, I've turned a little bit too far, I don't usually use it to do sort of much travelling, but it could be quite interesting to see a sort of fast travel option. So we're going to hit the slew button and then try and remember. Yeah, there we go. So make sure I'm pointing in roughly the right direction. I'd like it if I could, there we go. And then you can see that you can just zoom across the map, just as fast as you like, really. And pretty much already there. So these cliffs we can see coming up here, just above. So yeah, just where my sort of propeller's pointing there. Ooh. Those are the cliffs, and this is an absolutely beautiful spot to go to. If you are in Ireland, if you're in this area, I'm going to say this about most of Ireland because I think most of Ireland is absolutely gorgeous. But this particular spot was absolutely gorgeous. It really was. There's a reason it's a very popular tourist destination. It's just stunning to visit. Absolutely stunning. Could do with zooming in my in-game map slightly if I can find my mouse. There we go. Yeah, so I think, yeah, just trying to make sure I'm definitely in the right place, and I'm definitely in the right place. Everything's fine. So we'll get down nice and low. So I wasn't even too sure if they'd even have cliffs here, cliff faces here, because I think it was, is it the Cliffs of Dover? Just basically just like almost like a sandbanking game. Maybe this is part of the whole UK conspiracy, though, where the UK itself seems to be quite poorly modelled in areas, not a lot of attention paid to it. Whereas, international countries like beautiful green Ireland. So it's quite often to get a hard of scale in the game, but even from here, obviously that road cutting across it kind of makes it look a bit weird. But even from here, you can see the scale of these cliffs. They're just absolutely massive, beautiful. And some lovely walks up and around them as well. So I think that's the first time I've really got any sort of sense of verticality from cliffs in the game. We've seen mountains and hills and the such like, but cliffs seem to be a little bit overlooked usually, or at least a bit of a weird texture effect there. At the very least, very awkward to do. You can see that obviously the texture doesn't map particularly well. Looks like it's got very much the horizontal textures just folded over the vertical cliff faces, and you can sort of see a little bit of the cliffs at the bottom of these textures, and it looks like there's a car park just about here. So the textures are a little bit weird, and I think this part here, because I think, yes, this sort of path, this road you can see just underneath us here, that's actually the walkway that goes around this beautiful area. And I think this little island here has have puffins on, or am I making that up? I don't know, maybe I'm making that up now. But surprised at actually the verticality of those cliffs. Good job developers, or good job AI, because I doubt the developers did much to specifically model that. And you see some traffic pootling around as well on the roads, which I do love. Apparently that has a bit of a hit on the performance of the game, although it seems to be running okay now, doesn't it? But I think it does add just a little bit of extra immersion, doesn't it? That's right then. So that's Galway and the Cliffs of Moher. Where did we say we're going to go? We said we were going to go to Kilronan, or try and find Kilronan Castle, didn't we? So let's try and find Kilronan Castle. and I'll see you there. So I think one of these lakes here, I'm going to have to zoom in on the old map on this screen. I think one of these lakes is the Seton Rolling. I say lake, they're called locks. I mean, I'm sure they're called locks as well, don't they? I think. I'm sure I just saw that pop up on the map and then, oh yeah, there we go. Loch Mila. Yes, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this one just here. Okay, so I think these sort of buildings that I'll point out when I get into a suitable place to point them out. So these buildings that are just coming up to the nose of the craft now, that's going to be the castle itself. And I said I'd mention the accommodation I stayed in because we were very excited to stay on the grounds of a castle. We knew we weren't going to be in the castle itself, which is a very fancy, expensive boutique spa, you know, sort of place you'd go to. But you were staying in a building on the grounds. And we were quite excited about the idea of that. Turns out when they say you're going to stay on the grounds of a castle, what they mean is there's about a dozen just cheaply built houses just down the road from the castle, hidden by some fencing where you stay. It was very weird and sort of surreal experience, to be honest, because you just wouldn't expect that to be the case. But there we go. So I think this building here that we're just over, that is the attempt, I think, at being in the castle. Let me just zoom in this map a little bit. Yes, and so those buildings that are... Where's my mouse? There we go. So this is the castle here. So you can see these sort of castle grounds a bit. I think this is just an outbuilding. And then this bit here, where they've got what looks like some sort of tower blocks, is actually just a small housing estate. And actually not very nice. We were all a little bit disappointed with that. But the grounds, you can see this path that's just going along the side of these trees here. This is the driveway into the castle. And this loch that we're going over, you can basically just walk around this entire thing and it's absolutely stunning. So even though the accommodation was not fantastic, the grounds and the area around it were just amazing to stay in. And when you get a beautiful, beautiful sunset like that as well, oh, gorgeous. So I think you can walk along the entire thing. Me and my wife, who was just my wife at the time as well, wasn't she? We did spend some time just walking around some of this beautiful landscape. Not quite as, again, the trees I think are again slightly over exaggerated by the AI algorithm of the game. Well, you can see there's just a few houses down there. Look, see the houses in the middle? That's basically what it looks like. It's actually quite accurate. Right, so we are now going to head. I'm going to have to change my my map because I'm zoomed right in over there. And try and find something that I don't think is going to look particularly great in game, but I think it'd be interesting to see because again, just a beautiful, beautiful area. Somewhere, it's disappeared off my list. Oh, there we go. Is Glencar Waterfall, which is up here somewhere. Next to Glencar Loch, unsurprisingly. I'll just zoom this map out so I can actually get a bit of an idea of where we're going then. And we'll see how easy this is. We will just do, I might skip time a little bit as we get a little bit closer, but I think for now, in fact, no, what I'll do is I'll pop back into this mode and we'll just, we'll go slightly into the air. Look at all these beautiful wind farms. Like, I love that. I love seeing wind farms. Genuinely makes me very, very happy. Look at this beautiful landscape here. Maybe we'll just pop out here and just look at that. That is absolutely stunning, isn't it? And we need to try and figure out... So, I think we need to go to the left slightly. I know I said the island's very flat and I like that and you can see very lots of, but when you get these hills and these sort of undulations in the ground, it's really when the lighting in this game just, oh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that to our left is a different body of water, but then directly north of that, and I can just about see where it is I think on this map, so let's head, it's about here. So this is one of the few things me and my wife actually did on our own. Because obviously most of the stuff, as I say, I was there with my in-laws, my brother-in-law's in-laws. My brother-in-law's obviously there as well, with my sister-in-law and their kid. It was a bit of a family vacation away. So we didn't get much time to ourselves, particularly being as a holiday we did directly after our wedding, but that's another story. This was one of the few trips we did on our own where we just jumped in the hire car and just sodded off for the day and just went exploring, and we found this beautiful waterfall, and it was just delicious, deliciously beautiful is what it was. I'm not actually sure how far it is. I think that body of water maybe we can just see coming out there. That might be pretty much where it is. It was a very hilly area, I remember that. Then we drove over to the coast and around and back, and we drove around the loch as well to get there. So I think this road that's just underneath my right wing, I think we probably drove along that to get there. Into, again, this beautiful sunset. And I said I'm going to bang on about it. And I wasn't lying, but look at that. Look at that. Let's just pop into the drone camera for a little bit. Ooh. I mean, what more could you ask for, eh? What more could you ask for from a game, really? Our plane is going in all sorts of weird and wonderful directions, so we do need to... Ooh, why is it paused? There we go. There we go. Or not, it's gone into a weird mode now. It's gone into a weird mode. I don't know what to do about that. That's fine. We'll just live with it, I think. Oh, there we go. There we go. No, because now I can't control it. What is going on? Live pause does nothing. It's because it's gone into slew mode rather than... There we go. I've sorted it. Yes. So this definitely looks like it's the right place. So if we go down a little bit... Is that the road? Yeah, that's the road directly underneath us, look. And then I think just as it reaches the actual loch itself... Yes, there. We've just gone over it. There's the car park just there, look. So I doubt we'll actually be able to see the actual waterfall in-game, obviously. That would be crazy. But somewhere in that massive trees... I'm just trying to figure out. So I think maybe that massive trees there is the walk up. Which goes up there. So somewhere in there... There is a beautiful waterfall. You can see the river that's coming down just here, I think. On the very left of the screen there. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Another, I've said this a few times, but again, if you're in Ireland, you're in this direction, well worth a visit again, because it's absolutely stunning. And then, as I said, we drove up around this loch again, and went around the left side of this sort of hill range on the left there, and just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Obviously the game isn't going to model waterfalls very well, so even if you could see it, it wouldn't look like much. Imagine it just looked like a vertical water texture. But yes, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, I think what we'll finish off on, as I've been playing around with it a little bit, is we'll just maybe pop up super, super high and just see what Ireland looks like. We went about 10,000 feet, didn't we? We're already up to about 9... 10. We'll just pop up to a suitably high height. Maybe like we'll aim for like 20,000. Enough that the plane is really not going to be very happy there at all. There we go. And there we go. That's what the game looks like. 'Cause I haven't really had a chance to get high and take a look around. We haven't flown any of the airliners or anything. And maybe we'll also, just for this moment, change the time of day to be a bit more midday-ish. We'll change it to a beautiful clear sky. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Genuinely a little bit crazy how good this game looks, I think. It really is. Oh, there's the loch underneath us, look. You can really see how flat it is in between those two sort of hill areas, can't you? Amazing. Anyway, that is probably a suitable place for me to stop it then. And I think, yeah, this little urban area, I just immediately carried on as soon as I said I'm going to stop. That's directly in front of my nose. I think that's where we drove out of, like I said, we drove out of that loch and then went to the coast. And I think we drove just through that town, clipped it, and then drove back again. Stunning, stunning. Ireland is definitely worth a visit. Definitely worth a visit. So as I said, I am going to return to... I was in a live pause, wonder why it wasn't going very far. I'm going to return to Devon. Probably the next video we'll be back in Devon again and go into some of those locations you all have wanted to see. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully it won't be quite as long between videos as well. But as you may notice this week, videos are going to slow down a little bit just because I didn't get as much done on the weekend as I'd like to. So I'm struggling to get the stuff done in the short hours I have after work. Sort of between finishing work and getting the baby sorted ready for bed. So hopefully it won't be too long to wait. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, do click the like button. That is massively, massively appreciated. Comment, subscribe, all those good things. Let's just pop into slew mode now that we're up nice and high. Oh, look at that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh. Yes, like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. Hopefully I'll see you next time in Flight Simulator. We go back to Devon. As I said, there are some other international locations that have been requested as well, so we're going to pop over to New Zealand at some point. We're going to go over to the US, to New Mexico at some point as well. And if you do have anywhere you'd like to see, do let me know down in the comments and I will add it to the list, and I will get there at some point eventually, I promise. Otherwise, as always, a massive, massive thank you for joining me.